everybody, Erica Serwin here from Pink Buckaroo Designs, and today I'm going to share with you these little treat boxes I made for my team last week. We had a training that we were going to, some of us in my local team, and I wanted to make them just a little goodie box full of some things that they could use or snack on at the meeting. I have some candies, I have these little things you put in water bottles to flavor them, some Post-it notes, and they are really fun and easy, and I think that you could use them throughout all the seasons and do different things, you know, seasonal or summer or whatever. I think that they would be really good. All right, so let's get started. First, I want to talk to you about the paper that I'm using. If you watched my cake pop video last week, you saw that I used this new Shine On Specialty Designer Series paper. It's in our 2016, the Stampin' Up! 2016 Occasions Catalog on page 31, and it is beautiful. I really think that the picture in the catalog does not do it justice. First off, it's made of craft. It's a craft cardstock, so it's really sturdy. It's really good for boxes and 3D items because it's not going to break. It's thick, and these colors are really bold and they pop. And then on the other side, it's shimmery. So I love this paper, and you'll probably see me use it a lot over the next couple months. Okay, so I started with a piece that is 4 inches by 8 inches. And if you're using a 12 by 12 piece of cardstock, you can get 3 full boxes out of one page. So I was able to get quite a bit of them out of the pages that I used. So you would cut it at 8 inches, and then you have a 4-inch section on the bottom that will help you make these little tabs that are going to go on the side. And these measure 1.5 by 2.5. If you need these measurements, hop back over to my blog. I'm going to have them typed out there for you. Okay, so back to this. You need a 4 by 8 inch piece of cardstock, and I have scored it at 2.5 and 3.5. Now I wanted to make a little tab on the top, a file tab. Oh, you know what? Let me show you something else. So some of the patterns, it matters which way it's going. So these are raindrops, and we don't want the raindrops upside down. So when you cut your paper, think about that. My box is going to fold like this so that my raindrops are correct. I did cut one on accident where the raindrops were upside down, and I realized it too late. So make sure that when you score your paper and you cut it, that you think ahead about which way you want those patterns to go. Okay, so we're going to use the file tab, one of the file tab thinlits. These are in the big catalog, the main Stampin' Up! Catalog on page 172. You get 2 file tab thinlits. Whoops, I better do this on the wrong side. You get 2 of these, and then some numbers to go on them, which is really cute. All right, so what I was about to do was cut the front section, and that's not what we want. We want to cut the back section. So I'm going to lay this close to the top, and because this is a pretty wide thinlet, I'm going to have to, move my paper over to the side to get it to fit through here. And so I'm going to put it up here to the top and make sure it's straight across. And I'm using my magnetic platform, so that will really hold that thinlet in place so that it does not slip and do a crooked cut. If you heard that crackling on your Big Shot, don't worry. That's the sound it's supposed to make when it's cutting. All right, so here we go. Let's pull that off, and there we have a file tab. Isn't that great? Okay, so now we're ready to put it together. So you've got these. Go ahead and score them really good. Fold those score lines. I recommend using our tear and tape here. Sometimes craft cardstock has a hard time holding onto that adhesive for some reason. So for this, I'm using tear and tape, and it seems to hold this box together pretty well. Our tear and tape, if you'll notice, when you put it down, you can just tear it. You don't have to cut it, which I love. It's a big improvement from our red sticky strip. And I'm putting a little bit, I'm putting on the front tab here and a little bit on the back, and I just eyeballed that. You could measure it 2.5 inches up, but I just eyeballed it. All right, so we're going to peel these the double-sided part off the paper. So now we've got some adhesive on there. This is also a lot easier to peel than our sticky strip. And one more. All right, so I told you about these little tabs that you'll need. You'll need 2 of these for each of your boxes, 1.5 by 2.5, and I scored them at 1/2 inch on both of the sides. And I'm going to take these and I'm going to line them up. Again, make sure your raindrops aren't upside down like that. I almost did that. Put it like this. We're going to put those tabs on the inside so that we can't see a rough edge. Make sure you do all your folding before you put it on there, because that makes it a little bit difficult once it's on there. And if you're not really a great cutter and measure like me, you see mine's a little bit longer, don't worry. I have a way to cover that up, that little pokey edge. I'm going to show you that in just a second. So fold these over so that now that box has a side. Go in and push on it. Make sure it adheres really well. All right, so there's your main construction, your box construction. Now, I took a piece of our white our white corrugated cardstock, and it's 3/4 of an inch by 12 inches. And I'm just going to use my fast fuse and run it down the length of that. Now, you could score this if you wanted, but this is how I do mine. I just set it on there, make sure I get it straight, push it in, and then I take this one and I pinch it and push it in. And I pinch it and push it back there like that. That way I don't have to try to figure out those score lines. And I'm just going to overlap them in the back. All right, so there's our box. Let's make our tag. I'm using 2 different stamp sets. Groovy Love, I love this stamp set. I have used it a ton in the last 2 years that we've had it. It's in the main catalog. And then this one is a brand new one. It's called a Nice Cuppa, which I think is a weird name, but whatever. The stamp set's super cute. And I'm going to use this sentiment that says, "and spending time with you." Now, I'm going to show you how to ink this so that we're not using that "and," because we are going to use just the love right here. So it says, "love spending time with you." All right. So the first thing that we're going to do, we want to get our polka dot heart and some Bermuda Bay. I'm using the color in the paper. That's the best part about our paper, is because you know exactly what color to use. Stamp it on Whisper White, and then one of our favorite aspects of our matching punches and stamp sets. Look at that. Voila. Perfect. Perfect, perfect. All right, so there's our heart. We're going to move that out of the way. Now we're going to use Watermelon Wonder, another one of my favorite colors. And we want just the love, groovy kind of love. Now, because mine is wood mount, I can't see through it, and the other way you could get this is clear mount. You still wouldn't be able to see through it. So we're going to have to mark off all the words except for love with a Post-it note. And you're going to stamp it on your stamp pad. And this is the important part. Take the Post-it off. Believe me, I have learned the hard way. I have done that more times than I want to admit. All right, stamp that right there. And we're just going to cut this out. Just a little, and you could use your paper cutter if you want, but I'm just going to do a little rectangle around, just like that. Okay? Now I've gone ahead and cut out my white label. This is from the Project Life Cards and Labels Framelits. I love this set. I use these 3 a ton. Okay, so this is called Project Life, but you can see that I don't use it for Project Life. I use these for all different kinds of things. So this is called the Project Life Cards and Labels, and we're using this shape. I went ahead and cut it out this time because this stamp is totally clear and I can see where I'm stamping. Now, I told you that we need to leave the "and" off, and we could use the Post-it note, or we can take with our clear mount stamps and just ink the words that we want, because that one's on the end. I can get everything but the "and." Do you see that? You see how I just got the last 4 words and left "and" off of the edge? All right, so I'm going to stamp it over to the right side of the tag. And there we go. Perfect. All right, time for my favorite dimensionals. Let's put a dimensional there and put our Bermuda Bay heart. And whoops, you know what? This little, when you take off your dimensionals, you have this border. And these little guys, I don't ever throw these away because these are good for little pieces like this when you think a dimensional is going to be too big. And I'm going to put that there. So it says, love spending time with you. That's a sweet sentiment. All right, let's see. I'm going to start here. I'm going to put a dimensional on the back of there and there. And right on the front. There we go. All right, so I chose a silver metallic clothespin to go there because it matches the silver here. And then I printed out their names. Well, I thought I had an extra one. I'll pull this one off. I printed out their names just on my computer, and I used a color that would hopefully match the Watermelon Wonder. I'm gonna clip that on. All right, I'm gonna add a bow to this little clip using our new Bermuda Bay ribbon from the Occasions catalog. It's really thin and skinny, and it makes a good bow easily. Now remember, if you're tying a bow, don't pull that real tight until you have it just how you want it. Get those little loops right, and then pull it tight. All right, and then easily add on a glue dot to that bow. And I pulled it off with my paper snips, and there we have it. Cute and fun. I really like this. I hope my team likes it. I haven't given it to them yet. I've made it ahead of time, and look forward to giving it to them. All right, let me know if you have any questions, and hop back to my blog to check out the links for all the products that I used, as well as the measurements so you can make your own boxes. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.